the basic setup goes like this. First we have this CPU and then the tri-state buffer and then the phase lock loop. The tri-state buffer basically is used for gaining the maximum frequency and also for increasing the latency. Latency is just a delay in time. And then we have this phase lock loop which is used to increase the megahertz clock. So, and next we have this timer, JTAG and clock crossing. All this are the basic setup. And then it's the video display. In video display, first we have SDRAM controller, LCD HDMI controller, timing adapter, and the FIFO memory, which runs for 150 megahertz. So, and the LCD HDMI controller, we basically use this to transfer data between the LCD and the memory. And then next we have the timing adapter for adjusting the timing between the frames. And next we have this on-chip FIFO memory. FIFO is basically used for buffering data and also to maintain the flow control in the SLC builder. And then we have 40 megahertz clock, which is running for this timing adapter and also for the formatting of the frames. And then the LCD pixel converter, and then the VGA, which is a display. LCD pixel converter is basically used for, it basically takes the pixel data as the input and converts the pixel data to the required format that the TPAD requires. And then we have these two features, that is the touch interface, which is the main feature, and we have a extra feature called the accelerometer, which these two will be taken care by my teammate Abhishek. Thank you.
Here we try to use unique feature of the TPAD, this is the accelerometer, where it helps us to change the orientation of the LCD display depending on the tilt or the vibration what we give on the TPAD. Accelerometer is nothing but a chip or a small chip which senses the gravity and it is able to take variation of angles like less than 1 degree. So here we have like the three main PIOs which basically serves as like data transfers which transfer the digital outputs to the LCD and with the interrupt request from the ADXL, that's the chip which generates the accelerometer feature. And this is basically the touch interface which we normally use for our projects. And okay, this is the software flow. Basically, the flow is pretty simple. When we run the project, we can see a notepad which has a set of keys similar to a iPhone which has like, all the type characters. We try to implement the features like iPhone where we touch a key and it pops up until it's displayed. We had some problems displaying it because we use the accelerometer to display through multiple windows when it tilt it. And as we clear the whole screen parallelly, we had some problems clearing the buffer and other stuff. So we had like some glitches which are not yet resolved. So as we see here, depending on the accelerometer angle with the ground, it decides which LCD display to be outputted on the screen. And okay, let's see the demo on the TPAD. Here is the basic output of the notepad, what we developed. Here, this is the open space where we normally type the text, and this is the keypad what we developed. Basically, these are the basic functions like delete, return goes for the next line. The space is a normal space between the words. And let me show you the accelerometer feature. If this is the normal position of how we use it. If we try to tilt it, it changes the orientation. One problem we faced here in this was we don't have inbuilt functions which generates the characters. So I had to use the same functions what we used earlier. So that's why we can see the characters like 180 degrees out of phase. So we can see if we can write a function which can rotate the pixels, then we can fix this issue. So if you go back to the normal position, this is the normal position which shows the actual setup of the notepad. As we clear the buffer every time when you tilt it. We had some issues of clearing the buffer, so when you see this, if you see this, when you touch a keypad, key, we can. Because the keys are very small, I can't use my finger. It doesn't sense multiple rectangles. So we can see characters popping up. But here we can see that when I lift my finger from the key, it just goes off. That's because of continuously clearing the buffer. My code here, we can see here, it's continuously reading the angles, the accelerometer angle. That's why it's clearing every time. So it's not holding the specific characters. So if I keep holding it, it's going to type whatever I press. And if it goes to delete, it clears the screen. This is not the expected one, but because of that clearing buffer issue, I'm not able to do that. And if I press return, then it will go to the next line. So this is the basic functionality of this notepad. But still, there are issues to be resolved to clear the buffer. That we didn't find enough time to do that. So, yeah.
This is the display on the T-pad. So as we've seen already in the pictures on the presentation, these are the control commands: left, up, right, and down. And this is the reset. So when you start, when you move the,
You hit the wall.
Yeah, so when you hit the wall, we set the losing criteria as when you hit the wall, it is a losing situation. So reset. So that's how the gobbler moves and around eating the eggs. When you eat all the eggs, you win the game, and you can see this the score is being updated with each egg it is eating. And
whenever you hit a wall,
when you hit a wall, then it is a losing situation.
and then
After 5 seconds, it resets, and yeah.
and you have to play without hitting a wall.
That is the criteria.
Yeah, that is quite.
It's so much fun to play.
Yeah.
Trust me. Thank you.
My name is Mansa and my teammate is Rashmi, and we are doing the project in Broadcast. Basically, this is how our project is. First, what we have done is we have implemented the Broadcaster on the DK115 pad. The player is initially presented with a grid of squares, and then we randomly select the squares and which is unknown to the player, and then it is designed to contain bombs in those coordinates. And the game is played by the